Hola! And welcome to Operation Skyrim with no magic. Is this game? Yay! 40 quid, yay! Kingdom Come Deliverance, a medieval RPG open world realistic action game with mostly positive reviews. Oh, that's pretty decent. But let's delve a little deeper. I try my best not to spoil anything, but this is basically the story in a nutshell. Dude, stab, revenge, done. You are in the land of Bavaria, and you must survive in this harsh land. Ratheim, my favourite place, because there are 3 fast travel locations incredibly near to one another. How fucking useful. Because when you don't want to travel literally 5 seconds from one gate to the other, what you need is a fast travel. Yes, boy! Do what every gamer wants to do, such as eat, drink, wash, sleep, read in game. Go to the codex and physically read the hundreds of essays on medieval society. If that doesn't bore you, go to one of their many villages and purchase items from a butcher, a grocer, a huntsman, a blacksmith, an innkeeper, a cobbler, a baker, a trader, a weaponsmith, an armourer, a tailor, a scribe, a tanner, a miller, a horse trader, or an apothecary. When Skyrim uses, a trader and an armourer, you need to fucking triple that bitch. The game has you wandering around completing side quests whilst, working your way through the main story. The inventory system is quite complex to get into and a little bit confusing. It is divided into about 6 main headings. The inventory, which holds all of your items you're carrying, divided further into different categories of items, all weapons, armour, food, quest items, and other, with your weight capacity and money at the bottom. To your right, you can see what you have equipped, the time of day and main level information. Most of this is useless, don't get freaked out when you see this bit. The player category allows you to level up and pick abilities for your character to use every time you level up. Your horse has its own category, which you can store items in. However, it can also become over-encumbered if you give it too much. Quest log contains all your active and completed side and main missions. The map lets you view where you are, and Codex allows you to read up on the different aspects of the game mechanics. Combat is really weird. It's basically where you lock into a target and attempt to block their blows by moving the mouse in the direction they're attacking, and vice versa. When you attack, you need to try and aim at the location that they're not, blocking. It's a very weird system, and it makes combat a bit difficult when it's any more than one person. It's actually extremely difficult. It's also it's just clunky, and it's pretty easy to die, when you're going up against more than one guy. It is also filled with bugs. For about a couple of hours I couldn't actually use the mouse on the inventory screen. The horse gets stuck behind almost everything if you're trying to rush to a destination. Almost everything that exists in the world, your horse will be trapped behind. So other features that I realised later include effects. These can be found on the top right of the inventory screen, and basically it's just the different effects that occur to you over doing certain things. For example, not eating or running or carrying too much, or certain effects can be occurred by certain abilities that you have activated, getting drunk, all that things. They can affect how people act towards you and how you fare in combat. So these are quite important factors to care about. Also, when in dialogue with anyone, occasionally you have 3 options. You have a little face dude, you have a throne, and you have fight, and those are the different types of ways you can talk to someone. And depending on the cleanliness and your abilities, these can be either very effective or not very effective. Also, the fast travelling option is a bit peculiar because it's not fast travel. It's basically you go to the map and your token moves instead of you actually moving. And it's a short amount of time, but it still takes a fucking forever. It's certainly not a game for murdering. I mean, I've played about 30 hours, and so far the majority is travelling and talking. I've only had about, I'd say, a dozen conflicts, actual fights with people. Occasionally I'd have to run away because, people like knights or heavily armoured people are just going to fuck you up. They're just better and just generally just going to fuck you up, just hardcore. Another bug is I finally killed a knight, stole his armour, went to a trader, said, could you fix my armour? He said, no, you stole it. And I'm like, how do you know? Okay, it's a fucking plain chassis. How do you know that I stole it, you magical son of a bitch? Also, if I stole it, Maybe you should sell someone. No? Okay. And then I waited a couple of days and magically it wasn't stolen anymore. So that's fucking wonderful. A couple of people that you see when you travel across the land will give you try and fight you, mercenaries or knights. And you can attack, you can fight them or don't fight them. I think they're incredibly hard to kill. And it's kind of shitty because they hit you twice and they're instantly like, okay, cool, give me 300 fucking monies. And 300 monies is quite a lot of monies. The environment was interesting for the first 20 hours, but I realised that it's all kind of the same thing. So, It also quite interested me that many of the side quests involved hunting animals. But some animals would get trapped behind trees, so I could kill them really easily. And the quests were interesting, but I realised my input didn't really matter. So now, unfortunately, I do skip dialogue occasionally. And that's really bad because this game is mainly about, story and developing characters and understanding the world and trying to really, live in this environment because it's all to do with realism. But it's difficult when it's slow. It's a slow game. An average day in this game would be like this. Wake up, start quest, go out and find quest marker, find object or person in the area, kill, help or collect whatever is in that area, and then go back to the village, attempt to repair equipment by using kits, attempt to use grindstone to improve sword, damage it incredibly, repair shoes in the cobbler, repair clothes in the tailor, repair armor in the armorer, repair sword in the weaponsmith, go home, eat, go to bed, repeat. Occasionally wash myself sometimes. So in summary, basically this game is pretty buggy, it's slow and it's relatively difficult to run with a normal computer. There is also a loading screen for every person you talk to, which can get a bit annoying. However, it does fill its role as being a realistic medieval game. The characters are interesting, it is very immersive. It's incredibly good at not expecting you to be helped by anything. Occasionally, I would have to actually look on the internet to find out how to complete a quest. With saving, it only saves when you, I think it's when you sleep and you drink a special savior schnapps. That's the only time when you can save. You can't just save whenever. I think that's really stupid, but I understand where they were coming across with that. I mean, every time you play the game, you have to play it for a good while. I feel there's not much space for actually saving easily and getting off the game easily. However, I would rate this game about a 6 out of 10. Maybe a bit of a pain in the arse, but it's an enjoyable experience and it does what it tells you to do. I mean, it may be slow and it may be difficult if you run it on a crap computer, but it's worth it and I'd recommend it. If you like this video, click the subscribe button down below and like it and comment on what I should do next. Or tell me to fuck off. I'm good with you telling me to fuck off. Oh yeah, fuck off, bitch.